My name's Katie Ewers. I am a professional careers advisor, life coach, spiritual coach, and today I'm going to talk to you about a branch of engineering called chemical engineering. Give you a bit of information about what it takes to be a chemical engineer and the kind of person that would fit being a chemical engineer. Let's get started. So chemical engineering is a branch of engineering. There's loads of different types of engineering, but I've just listed the umbrella terms here, the biggest areas of engineering, which is your mechanical, electronic, electrical and civil engineering. Right, so to be a chemical engineer, so what do chemical engineers do? So they take raw materials, so anything that they dig up from the ground, anything that a miner pulls up from the ground, whether it be metal or coal or rock or oil, and you make those into useful products by changing its chemical composition in some way, like oil, petrochemicals, medicine, plastics, products like toys and stuff. You'll be involved in the design and development of the product. So that's very creative. Your tasks may include like changing the chemical or biochemical physical state of a substance, turn it into something else. So that's very material science. So if you're interested in chemical engineering, there's a lot of material science in there because you need to know how materials behave and how they're going to work in the finished product, because you don't want something that's going to degrade or react and not be a useful useful product for longevity. So you make sure the substance is fit for purpose, it's not going to degrade, and it works well in the environment. Plastic from oil, energy, and you can work in sectors like the energy sector, of course. That could be anything in the energy sector, food and drink, oil and gas. But maybe you could use that a little bit more in renewables as we go forward, because I know oil and gas is going to start to taper off more and more. So I'm hoping the energy industry and chemical engineers will definitely be used more in the renewable industry going forwards. Pharmaceuticals and medicines, plastics. I know we have issues at the minute with plastic pollution, so plastic and the way it's made may change a lot over the next few years, and there may be less and less things made with plastic, so you need to be aware of that. Toiletries, anything soap or cleaning products, water treatment, even things like nanotechnology, fuel cells and biomedical engineering would be something that would use chemical engineers. Responsibilities, so you'll work with other professionals a lot. Other professionals in your field and other professionals from other disciplines that can bring their expertise to the table. So you work with other professionals to ensure the process in the plant is set up efficiently for maximum output. So that means creating as much product as you can for as low a cost as possible at the best quality as possible. Design plant processes, positions and equipment so that they can be changed or adapted to suit whatever product range you're dealing with at that time, and make sure the processes are all correct for that product. Set up, scale up and scale down processes, make changes where needed to equipment, design and configuration. Access ideas and options for plant expansion by developing and testing different processes, prototypes and models. So a lot of testing involved, checking the process works. Design, install, commission new product plants, including monitoring developments, problem solving along the way. So problem solving ability, creative ability, being able to look at the options and come up with a strategy for the best way to go. Research new products from trial through to sale, improvement and product lines. So ensure that safety issues, this is an important one, ensure that safety issues related to the product are considered at all stages. Health and safety issues, if not looked after properly, could kill someone, a customer or an employee. So that one's very, very, very important. Health and safety needs to be high on your radar for you to be successful at this job. Skills. So you need to work with others. You need to be able to work with other people. So if your types on My Self-Discovery says don't work with other people, you might want to step back from chemical engineering, because you do need to work with other people quite extensively. Motivate, the ability to motivate and lead a team. If that's not your thing and you're more the analytical work on your own type, maybe not. An understanding of material science and products and how materials work when you're creating products. Safety, cost effectiveness, so a bit of analytical, bit of accounting knowledge might be useful. An understanding of engineering principles and maths, really important in engineering. Analytical problem solving ability, loads of different problems come up in engineering that you have to solve. Careful, methodical, really important, because if you make a mistake, it could cost lives at the end of the day. Great attention to detail, very needed. So if you're a big picture person, maybe not. But if you have good attention to detail and you love to work with others and you can lead a team and you love materials science and you like to do and create and design, this might be the job for you. Commercial and business awareness, creativity, innovation, especially if you're the designer in the pack. Oral and written communication skills, because you need to communicate to your colleagues, your customers, your bosses, what your ideas are, what your prototype is, and other professionals. You have to communicate with people across the board. Project management skills, being able to organise all the variables into one and make sure everything and everyone flows and works efficiently. Strong IT skills, resource management skills. So if you feel you've got these and this one's like looking good to you, then keep watching. What to expect as a chemical engineer. Now, you'll spend a lot of time in a lab, sometimes in the office, but often go into the processing plant itself, and sometimes even progressing from the plant and the laboratory onto the actual construction site where the machinery is being used and utilised. Safety is a high priority, as I said, so you need to have a strong awareness of health and safety, because lives are at stake at the end of the day. You need to wear safety protective clothing at all times, and you need to be very, very adamant with that. Many roles are available in process plants, in industrial areas throughout the UK and overseas. So finding jobs in the UK is still a very viable thing, especially in industrial areas and big cities and things like that, and industrial towns. So across the board, really, there's opportunities in chemical engineering. Employers tend to be anyone from biotechnology or anything where raw materials are converted into products will need a chemical engineer. Business and management and consultancy companies would use chemical engineers. Chemical and allied products, the energy, the food, materials, oil, gas, pharmaceuticals, all companies and products that I've just spoken about, process plants, equipment, and even water. You know, people that deal with water. All of these jobs and more require chemical engineers, and chemical engineers are very sought after and needed. Salary, your graduate salary starts at about 28, which is a fairly average graduate salary. And then progressing up to 30, and chartered engineers can be in excess of 78,000. So if your motivation is in your motivations video and you found that monetary satisfactions was high up on your list, then this one might be one, as long as it matches your other elements, one to think about, because you have scope to earn that little bit more as a chemical engineer because of your training. Pretty much you have to work very hard and train a lot to be a chemical engineer, so that's why you get paid that little bit more. Working hours are typically your 9 to 5, but sometimes in processing manufacturing you might have to do a bit of shift work, and sometimes that might involve evenings and weekends, but most of the time the job is fairly 9 to 5. Qualifications, so you're going to need a degree to do this. So from the beginning you're going to need to be able to do A-levels, to be able to get your level 3, depending on whether you go to a school or a sixth form college for A-levels, or whether you go to a college or technology centre to do an engineering qualification, because you could do both. Both will get you into university. So if you were going to do A-levels, well, let's go from the beginning. To do A-levels, you need or a level 3 in engineering, you would need 5 GCSEs, grade C, grade 5, sometimes grade 4, depending, but for A-levels I'd say minimum grade 5, including English, maths and science, really important. That's if you want to do A-levels. The good thing about the engineering at college is if you don't get your 5 GCSEs, grade 5 and above, including maths and English straight away, you can start, if you go to college, you can start at level 1 and 2 and work your way up, get your maths and English and work your way up to engineering level 3. So what you would choose, A-level, sixth form college, or a practical course at college will depend on many things, your results, and also where most importantly, where you'll feel most comfortable, whether you're a practical learner or whether you're happy to sit, listen and write, which is A-levels are much more theoretical. So that's something that I'll be doing videos on in the future to help you decide. But also it's the job itself that will help you decide. There's some jobs where you can't use a college course, and there's some jobs where you can't really use A-levels, you need a practical course. So what you do isn't just about your preference, it's about also the job you're going for and where you need to train to get the qualifications you need. So if you do A-levels, each university is different in what grades they expect. But you're looking at sort of science and mathematics kind of qualifications, and you'd need, C's quite low, you'd need A or B, maybe C in some of the universities, depending on what type of university you want to go to, and you'd need 2 or 3 of those A-levels depending on the university. If you went to college, you'd need your level 3 and you'd need a good grade. You'd need to at least to have got distinction, merit, or maybe distinction, merit. Again, it depends on the university. Your degree should be accredited by the Institution of Chemical Engineers. So it's really important when you're looking at your degree subjects that you look at degree programs that are accredited by this institution. And there's a link here for you to look at. So if you want to take a note of this, to find degree programs that are definitely accredited by the Institution of Chemical Engineers, so that you don't go on the wrong degree course. Relevant work experience will be important going forward, especially if you want to progress. So it's not just about doing the degree. You need certain years of experience in the job to be able to move up and to qualify further or to become chartered. To become chartered, you need to be registered with the Engineering Council. You'll need to have studied at master's level, so that's post-degree. After the degree level, next level up, like level 7 or level 8, and have required work experience as well. So you need to have studied to at least like level 7, which is master's degree level, and have many years experience to become chartered. But of course, when you become chartered, you can get more money. Depends on what your motivations are. So the following degree subjects may be relevant, but look on this link that I've given you here, the ischeme.org, to be sure. But applied chemistry, biochemical process engineering would be a useful degree. Biomedical engineering, just a chemistry degree would be useful. Environmental engineering, nuclear engineering, any of these degree courses. But I implore you to look at this link here to be sure that whatever degree program you choose is accredited by the right institutions. Okay, because it could wreck everything and you will have to do extra courses to make up for it if you've done the wrong qualification. So, will you enjoy being a chemical engineer? So here I'm linking you back to my personal development videos, my self-discovery videos. So if you've watched the motivator video, your motivations that would fit chemical engineer is going to be the creator. Very creative, very innovative, new ideas, designs. The expert, because you're very expert when you're an engineer, you do postgraduate study and you're very much seen as the expert on site or at the plant. And the builder, so that is building material wealth, which you can do when you train as an engineer, because the amount of training you need to do and the scope for further development is higher. Myers-Briggs type, you can be any of the ones on here would fit beautifully for engineering. So an ENTP and an INTP, ENTJ, INTJ. ISFJ and ESTJ, ISTJ and ISFP. So you could make a little rhyme out of that, but I won't. It's all right. Don't panic. So any of these personality types, if you are any of these personality types, you've got a chance of this fitting you perfectly. Your 9 intelligences, the gardener, you'd be most suited to chemical engineering if you're number and logic smart, picture smart, I think more important than body smart, but body smart too, word smart because you need to communicate, and social smart, but the highest one will be your number and your logic smart and your picture smart, because engineers need to be able to visualize things in 3D in their head, especially when they're designing and working with plant and product. Strength finder, so if you're a designer, it'd be good if you were very futuristic. An arranger, so arranger means you can take all the details. Remember I said there was a lot of detail orientating for chemical engineers, and putting that detail in the correct process or plant for efficient working. So an arranger would be perfect in engineering, especially if you like taking the variables and putting them in the perfect configuration. Deliberative, because that's very risk averse. That deliberative people are very safe and very secure. So you'd be very involved and very interested in the health and safety aspect of engineering. Discipline, routine, schedule, getting things done, being disciplined in general is very important. Following the rules and following the procedures is vital, and that's very much discipline. If you go against procedures and someone dies, there's an issue. So procedures and processes and policies are very important in engineering, and discipline, interest and intelligence or strength will help you there. Restorative, so if you're the kind of person that likes to bring things or change things or bring things back to life, maybe restorative would be good. Chemical engineers tend to change things. You could consider it as restoration or just making it into something new. Very much a restorative thing as well. Communication with others, as I've said. Adaptability, you need to be able to change plans, change processes whenever needed. Analytical, looking at plans and blueprints and processes and thinking, where can that be changed? Ideation, new ideas, creativity, innovation, futuristic products and ideas. And strategic, knowing which way to go, putting processes and policies in the correct order to make sure everything's done efficiently and properly. So these are sort of the strengths that would fit beautifully with the chemical engineer. So if this profile fits you so far, it's looking good. So for the Belbin team role, the plant is very innovative, very much a thinker. So you might be a plant. An implementer is the person that takes the ideas and brings it to the real world and implements it, basically. Monitor evaluator, you might be a bit of a thinker, take an idea, that doesn't work, let's move them bits around and create a configuration that works. So a monitor evaluator would be good in a chemical engineering kind of role. Specialist, of course, and of course a team worker. Chemical engineers must work as part of a team. So you work as part of a team with specialist knowledge. You need thinking ability, and the ability to apply that thinking into reality. That's very much an engineering thing. And in resource investigator as well, you're always looking outside yourself for other professionals, other materials, other connections that would help the project. Honey and Mumford, finally, if you're a pragmatist or an activist, you'll be the best kind of engineer. Reflector and theorists are very much focused on thinking and reflection more than bringing the product into practical reality like a pragmatist, and actually using it in the real world and experience its working like an activist. So I think the two best on Honey and Mumford for engineers is your pragmatist and your activist. Now, if you fit this profile quite well, or even almost exactly, then chemical engineering, or maybe another branch of engineering, might be good for you. So I hope you've liked my video today on chemical engineering and what you need to be a chemical engineer, and what the kind of tasks you do as a chemical engineer. So if you like my video, I'm new to YouTube, please like my video, subscribe to my channel. I'm a professional careers advisor, but I'm new to bringing this to YouTube, so looking for subscribers, please. Click the bell icon, because I'm always going to be uploading more, new job information all the time, career goal setting stuff and things like that, planning stuff. If you want to contact me or you want to suggest a job for me to do my next video on, please email at katie@careertalents or put a comment in the description box. Or you can go to my website at careertalents.co.uk, and I'm going to put links to my social media in the description box so you can link to me on social media. As ever, guys, make sure the job that you choose fits you. It's really important. You're going to be doing this job for many years. So look at the elements of the job that I show you and really consider, is this job for you before you move forward? Because you don't want to make a mistake. It can be costly and time consuming, but make sure it's your decision and it fits your personality, your skills and your motivations. See you next time for my next video. Bye bye.